Some of the monks that I knew, I think they're no more. I want to transform the nation. Shall I tell you my problem, sir? Because he wanted to know. So we cannot transform the world.
हिंदी अच्छा
हमारा हिंदी बहुत कमजोर है।
So now in these days everywhere have the fighting and the hate, and the people are engaged in the country to country, and the people also have to weigh the solution for this.
See, the main problem with the history of humanity has been, we've been trying to transform societies and nations. Society is just a word, nation is just a word, there is just you and me as a reality. If I'm not willing to transform myself, I want to transform the nation. It's just a joke, it's a way of playing a joke on the world. That we are fooling ourselves and fooling everybody, I'm transforming the whole world. You cannot transform the world because there is no world, there are only people, individual people. So, wanting to transform individual people is a painstaking, lifelong work, it's not one-day slogan on the street. Shall I tell you my problem, sir? Because he wanted to know. Doubt, I don't have doubt, but I have problems. Shall I tell you? So this happened to me when I was 25 years of age. By the time I'm 25, by the time I'm 11, 12, I'm a super skeptic, graduated to be an atheist, then became an agnostic, then again became an atheist, then became a communist, then became an agnostic. I've been through many steps of transformation there. By the time I'm 25, I'm into businesses, I'm running about half a dozen businesses, all successful. When everything that you're doing is successful, I'm not arrogant, but little cocky. Everybody's clapping their hands, everybody says, wow, you're doing great, I'm only 25. So you're little beginning to feel like the planets are going around you, not the sun, you know. Success makes you feel like that, hello? So one afternoon, I'm just sitting on a small hill. I don't know if any of you ever been to Mysore? You been to Mysore? Bailkope you've been? Okay, I've spent a lot of time in Bailkope and also the Hunsur camp. Some of the monks that I knew, I think they're no more. In Hunsur camp, we worked closely with them for some time. I used to camp there because I used to forage into Nagarhole Reserve Forest, and I was part of the earliest Project Tiger with Dr. Karant. So we used to camp in the Bailkope, the Hunsur camp, which was just coming up at that time in 70s. So, I went up this hill and just sat there. Suddenly I did not know which is me and which is not me. What was me was just all over the place. I always thought, this is me, that's you. I have no problem with you, but this is me, that is you. I feed this one, not that, all right? Suddenly I did not know which is me, which is not me. Everything was me. I thought this lasted for 10-15 minutes, but about 4.5 hours had passed before I came to my so-called normal consciousness. For the first time in my adult life, tears, me and tears were impossible. I lived like that, but tears to a point, my shirt is all wet, and every cell in my body is bursting with ecstasy, like dripping ecstasy. So I shake my head and ask my super skeptical head, what do you think is happening? My head says, maybe you're going off your rocker, you're losing your balance. Then I ask my closest friends, what do you think is happening to me? I'm just ecstatic. If I just close my eyes and look like this, I think it's 2 minutes, but 7-8 hours have passed. I lost sense of time totally. Hours and days just passed like moments. So I knew there is no context around me to tell me what is happening to me because I did not grow up in any spiritual atmosphere. I grew up very agnostic, reading Dostoevsky, Camus, Kafka, this kind of European intellectual stuff, not anything spiritual. So then I sat down and experimented and saw what is causing this. I just realized that if I keep a little distance from my psychological happenings and my physiological happening, both our body and our mind is something that we accumulated over a period of time. If I keep little distance from that, it's like if you keep little distance from these clothes, you know this is just a cloth. But if you are wearing a skin-tight clothing, probably you do not know which is a cloth, which is your skin. So little distance if you keep from your psychological and physiological activity, suddenly every cell in the body bursts forth in ecstasy. Then I sat down and experimented many ways and I know it'll work. Then I tried with a few handful of people, it worked. Then I sat down and made a plan. I took the world's map. On that day, the world's population was 4.82 billion people. So I sat down and made a plan, in 2.5 years' time, I will make the whole world blissful because who wouldn't want to be blissful? See, 44 years 365 days, 7 days of the week, 16 to 18 hours a day, non-stop. Still, people say we have touched around 2 billion people today. 2 billion is not my idea of the world. Today, the world's population is 8.4 billion. Population is going on increasing. So now I know I will die a failure, but I'm a blissful failure. So, you must come to terms with some things, but you must be blissful. That's the important thing. If you're blissful, you can come to terms with anything. If you're miserable, even with the best things you cannot come to terms with. So right now, this is the problem. People are not blissful. When they were 5, 6 years of age, they were hopping around in joy. Somebody had to work hard to make them miserable. Today, somebody has to work hard to make them happy. The equation they have reversed. Just imagine, sir, when you are very joyful, do you ever think of causing harm to somebody? It's not your goodness which is a protection. Good people have done the most horrible things. People who believe they are good, they have done the most horrible things on the planet. But when you're very joyful, you will not do any harmful things to anybody because human being is essentially sharing their experience. If you are joyful, you do pleasant things. If you're miserable, you do ugly things. If you're resentful, you'll do horrendous things. So right now, people become leaders without any sense of forget about joy and bliss, they're not even peaceful. So we cannot transform the world, we have to transform individual human beings. It's a lifelong work. It cannot be done by one person or one organization or one something. A large number of people have to strive to bring that to every human being. And after all, largely in the world, at least 80–85% of the planet is democratic. If the people are really blissful, peaceful and blissful, they will elect such a person. Right now, they're also miserable and stressed, so they elect such a person. So, without reason, they will fight. Most of the time it's without reason, because there's no good enough reason to kill millions of people. Hello? There's no good enough reason for that. It is just that we get identified. See, in this culture, before we offer education to a child, from 0 to 12 in this culture, we should not teach a child anything. Just they must eat well, play well, sleep well, because the body and brain should grow to full size, that's the most important thing. Don't load it with anything till 12. 12, when we want to induct them into education, we initiated them. This I'm talking in ancient Bharat. The initiation was Aham Brahmasmi. That means you make the child identify not with the parents, not with the family, not with the community or nation, identify with the cosmos. My identity is cosmic. See, if I'm identified with this body, you are a problem for me. If I identified with this community, those who are outside are a problem for me. If I am identified with this nation, those who are beyond the borders are a problem to me. We must understand there is no other crime on the planet except limited identification that human beings take. The entire spiritual process is to bring a human being to that experience that your identification with the body, your identification with your surroundings and your people, your genetics, your whatever, all these things are lowered so that your identity is much larger. If I am identified with you as my own, if I experience you as my own, where is the question of a fight or a war? So, there is no immediate solution, we need to understand this. There were mechanisms in the world to at least contain it, like after World War II, we came up with United Nations and some international laws, so that it is not that they stopped the wars, at least there was a legal process for that. Well, in the last 20 years we've broken all those things. I can wage war on anybody, you understand? Very large countries are waging war on other countries. We can wage war on anybody you want, okay? You can pick a small country and demolish them. There's nobody to ask anymore. It's only might is right. If I have the muscle, I can beat you up. So we are building a lawless world. This law is not for genuine peace, at least it kind of contains violence. But even that we have broken. People have withdrawn from nuclear treaties in the last 10 years, you know. There were international nuclear treaties that we won't use nuclear weapons, everybody has withdrawn from that. Everybody is ready and ready to fire. How much nuclear weapons do we have? America has some 5,600, 700, Russia has some 6,400 or whatever, Chinese have some 3,000 plus, India has some 300 or so. Like this, if you add up everything, we can not only destroy this planet, we can destroy the moon and the Mars and whatever other planets we are planning to go, all of it we can destroy, we have that much firepower. So, if very sane human beings are not there at the top, it's a very dangerous world. It is. There's no magic wand solution. If a generation works hard to bring meditativeness into the larger population, some change will happen, they will elect somebody who is little meditative, who will not think of aggression. But it's not an insurance, it is a better possibility. This is how the world is.
Thank you for watching this video till the end. Before you leave, watch this latest video now.